Hello and welcome back to everyone, and a special welcome to all our new subscribers.
Great to be back.
We thought we would do another one of these deep dives for you this weekend.
Hmm.
We've got some exciting plans brewing over at the Detox Health channel. Many more of these explorations into fascinating health topics on the horizon.
Definitely looking forward to those.
Today, we're shining a light on a humble vegetable, something you might have in your crisper drawer right now, often playing, a supporting role.
Yeah, just a side dish.
Exactly. But what if we told you it could actually be considered a bit of a nutritional superhero? We're diving deep into asparagus.
Right. It's the kind of vegetable that, often gets steamed as a simple side, but when you actually look under the surface, its nutritional profile really packs a punch.
So that's the mission today.
Pretty much.
Mm.
Our goal today is to uncover what makes this unassuming spear so remarkably good for you. We've sifted through the research to bring you the key insights, giving you a shortcut, really, to understanding why asparagus might deserve a more prominent place on your plate.
Yeah, because people want to know the bottom line, without wading through tons of studies.
Exactly. We know you're keen to get informed without getting bogged down in jargon, so let's get straight to the heart of the matter.
Okay, so this superfood tag, it gets thrown around a lot, doesn't it?
It really does.
What does it really signify, and why are we even considering asparagus in that category?
Well, think of a superfood as basically a food that delivers an exceptional amount of health benefits relative to the calories it contains. It's not like a strict scientific definition.
More of a label.
Yeah, more of a way to highlight foods that are just nutrient powerhouses. And asparagus certainly fits that bill. Just half a cup of cooked asparagus clocks in at like a mere 20 calories.
20 calories, that's it. Yet it's loaded with stuff.
Exactly. Loaded with essential nutrients despite being so low-cal.
Okay, that sounds like a pretty good deal right off the bat. Let's talk specifics then. What are we actually getting in that seemingly innocent half cup?
Right, so you're looking at a surprisingly decent 2.2 grams of protein, which isn't bad for a green veg.
No, not at all.
Then a tiny 0.2 grams of fat and a helpful 1.8 grams of fiber that contributes about 7% to your recommended daily intake.
Okay, fiber's always good.
Always. But where it really shines is in its vitamin and mineral content. That same serving delivers 12% of your daily vitamin C.
Pretty good.
A very respectable 18% of vitamin A, and this is the big one, a truly impressive 57% of your daily vitamin K.
Wow, 57%. That's huge. I always associate vitamin K with blood clotting, but I feel like there's more to the story there.
You're absolutely right. While vitamin K is crucial for blood clotting, it's also absolutely vital for maintaining strong and healthy bones.
Ah, okay, so it's doing double duty.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So that high percentage in asparagus is contributing to aspects of your well-being you might not immediately think of. And the nutritional goodness doesn't stop there. That half cup also provides a significant 34% of your daily folate needs.
34% folate. Now, folate, that's something we hear a lot about, especially, in relation to pregnancy.
Exactly. Folate, it's a B vitamin, and it's absolutely essential during pregnancy, particularly in the early stages. It plays a critical role in preventing neural tube defects in the developing fetus.
Right, serious stuff.
Very serious. But it's not just for pregnant women. Folate is important for everyone. It supports healthy cell growth and the formation of DNA. Asparagus just offers a delicious and natural way to boost your folate intake.
Yeah, better than just a supplement sometimes.
It's more than just taking a pill. You're getting a whole package of nutrients. Oh, and it also has smaller amounts of iron, zinc, and riboflavin too.
Okay, so it's a low-calorie delivery system for a really wide array of important vitamins and minerals. I definitely see the superfood argument stacking up now.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's switch gears to something many of us think about, managing our weight. How can asparagus play a role there?
Well, like we said, it's very low in calories. That's the first point.
Yeah.
But beyond that, asparagus has a really high water content.
Ah, okay, so it fills you up.
Exactly. Think of it like this. Foods with a lot of water help to physically fill up your stomach, signaling to your brain that you're satisfied without adding a lot of extra calories.
Right, it's like creating volume without the extra energy load. Makes sense.
Precisely. And when you combine that high water content with the fiber content we mentioned,
That 1.8 grams.
yeah, that feeling of fullness tends to last longer. Fiber slows down digestion, which can help curb those, mid-morning or afternoon cravings.
Snack attacks.
Exactly. And reduce the tendency to overeat. So incorporating asparagus into your meals can be a really smart strategy if you're aiming for weight loss or simply trying to maintain a healthy weight.
That makes a lot of sense. It helps you feel satisfied without a big calorie investment. Okay, we've touched on folate and its pregnancy benefits already. Can we elaborate just a bit more on why it's so crucial?
Absolutely. The high folate content in asparagus is a real standout, particularly for women who are pregnant or planning to become pregnant. Adequate folate intake in the early weeks of pregnancy is just critical for the healthy development of the baby's brain and spinal cord.
It's preventative then.
Yes, it significantly reduces the risk of neural tube defects, which are serious birth defects.
So it's not just a nice to have, it's really a fundamental requirement for healthy fetal development.
Exactly right. And asparagus provides a palatable and natural source of this essential vitamin.
Yeah, much more enjoyable.
It is a much more enjoyable way to get your folate than just relying on supplements. And like we said, you're getting all those other beneficial nutrients at the same time. It's kind of a win-win.
Definitely. Food sources just feel like a more holistic way to get what our bodies need, don't they?
I tend to agree.
Now, I was intrigued by something I saw about urinary tract health.
No,
Well, that's not an association I immediately make with asparagus. How does that work?
it's a fascinating connection, actually. Asparagus has natural diuretic properties.
Meaning it makes you pee more?
Basically, yes. It encourages your body to produce more urine. This increased urination helps to flush out waste products, including toxins and potentially bacteria from the urinary tract.
So it's like a natural internal cleansing mechanism for that part of the body, like flushing the pipes.
In a way, yes, you could put it like that. By promoting this flushing action, it can help to reduce the risk of urinary tract infections, or UTIs.
Okay, that's useful.
And this effect is partly attributed to a naturally occurring amino acid in asparagus called asparagine. It's one of the things that gives asparagus its name, actually.
Oh, interesting.
So regular consumption of asparagus could be a simple dietary strategy to support the health of your urinary system.
That's a surprising benefit. Okay, moving on to something I think many of us are interested in, keeping our digestive system happy. How does asparagus contribute to that?
Well, first off, asparagus is a fantastic source of dietary fiber, and as we know, fiber is absolutely crucial for a well-functioning digestive system.
Keeps things moving.
Exactly. It adds bulk to your stool, which helps to regulate bowel movements and prevent constipation. Think of it as keeping things moving smoothly through your system.
So it helps with regularity, which is definitely key for digestive comfort. No one likes being blocked up.
Absolutely not. But what's particularly interesting, beyond just the bulk, is that research suggests asparagus is also a good source of prebiotics.
Prebiotics, not probiotics.
Prebiotics, specifically a type of fiber called inulin. Prebiotics are essentially food for the beneficial bacteria, the probiotics that live in your gut.
Ah, so it feeds the good guys.
Precisely. By feeding these good bacteria, inulin helps them to thrive, which has a really positive impact on your overall gut health.
That's a really interesting two-pronged approach to digestive health, providing the roughage and nurturing the good gut bugs.
Exactly. And there have also been some animal studies indicating that asparagus might have a mild laxative effect, which could further support healthy digestion.
But that's animal studies.
Yes, although we do need more research in humans to confirm
Yeah.
this specific effect.
Got it. Interesting, though. Now let's talk about inflammation. It seems like we hear about chronic inflammation everywhere these days. Does asparagus have any properties that can help with that?
Yes, it seems so. Asparagus contains various compounds that have been shown, at least in studies, to possess anti-inflammatory properties.
Okay.
These compounds may help to sort of mitigate inflammation within the body. And it's important to remember that chronic, low-grade inflammation is linked to a really wide range of health issues.
Heart disease, diabetes, lots of things.
Loads of things. So anything we can do through diet to help manage it is definitely beneficial.
So incorporating asparagus could be a small but, significant way to support a more balanced internal environment, potentially.
Precisely. By regularly including asparagus in your diet, you're providing your body with natural tools that can help combat inflammation and contribute to overall well-being.
That's good to know. And what about antioxidants? I know asparagus is often mentioned in connection with those beneficial compounds.
Oh, definitely. That's correct. Asparagus is rich in a variety of antioxidants. You've got the familiar ones like vitamin E and vitamin C.
Standard antioxidants.
Yeah, and also a really powerful antioxidant called glutathione. Antioxidants play a vital role in protecting your cells from damage caused by unstable molecules called free radicals.
That's oxidative stress, right?
That's oxidative stress.
Right.
And that process is what contributes to things like aging. and the development of various diseases.
So antioxidants are like the body's little defense force against that
It's
damage.
a good way to put it. And beyond those well-known antioxidant vitamins, asparagus also contains a diverse array of other beneficial plant compounds called flavonoids and polyphenols.
Like what? Any specific names?
Sure, names like quercetin, isohamnitin, and comferol pop up in the research. Studies have linked these specific compounds to various health-promoting effects. Think of them as additional little protectors working at a cellular level.
So it's a real powerhouse of these protective compounds then, not just one or two.
It really is. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Purple asparagus, specifically.
Oh, the purple kind. You don't see that as often.
No, but if you do, grab it. It contains anthocyanins. These are the very same pigments that give blueberries and other dark berries their vibrant color.
Right, the things that make blueberries so healthy.
Exactly. They are potent antioxidants with potential benefits, particularly for heart health. Studies have even linked higher anthocyanin intake generally to a lower risk of heart disease.
Wow, so even the color of your asparagus might give you a hint at slightly different or maybe boosted benefits. That's cool.
It is pretty neat.
Now, we've talked about a lot of general wellness aspects. What about some more specific health concerns, like, say, managing blood sugar and cholesterol levels?
Okay, this is an area where some intriguing research has emerged, but with a caveat, it's primarily from animal studies so far.
Okay, important distinction. What did they find?
Several studies have suggested that extracts from asparagus may help to lower blood sugar levels in diabetic animal models, like rats. Some of these studies even indicated a comparable effectiveness to certain medications used to manage blood sugar.
In rats, though, that's quite a finding, even if it's just in animals, especially comparing it to meds.
It is noteworthy, but yes, the key here is that these are animal studies. We need human data.
Understood. What about cholesterol?
Similar story. Other research in animals has explored the potential of asparagus to help reduce cholesterol levels. These studies suggest that asparagus might improve the way the body handles bile acids during digestion.
How does that affect cholesterol?
Well, binding bile acids can help lower cholesterol levels. And interestingly, in some of these animal studies, asparagus appeared to have a greater capacity to bind bile acids compared to other vegetables they tested, like eggplant, mung bean, carrot, and even broccoli.
Huh. That's a pretty notable comparison, especially against broccoli.
It is. Furthermore, some animal research has hinted at asparagus potentially playing a role in regulating fat metabolism, which could further contribute to lower cholesterol and also potentially reducing blood pressure and even supporting weight management.
Okay, lots of potential benefits suggested there.
Yes, but it's absolutely crucial to emphasize that we need significantly more research in humans to determine if these effects translate in the same way for us.
Right. So, promising initial findings in animal models, but human trials are the necessary next step to confirm these specific benefits for blood sugar, cholesterol, blood pressure, etc.
Couldn't said it better myself.
What about another major health area of concern for many? Cancer. Is there any research linking asparagus to cancer prevention or treatment?
There is some research, yes, but again, we need context. It's primarily older research, mostly conducted in laboratory settings like in test tubes.
Okay, so not in people or even whole animals.
Mostly not. These studies suggested that asparagus itself, or extracts derived from it, might possess some anti-cancer properties against certain types of cancer cells, including breast and pancreatic cancer cells. But again, in test tube studies.
So this is very preliminary at the cellular level, understanding mechanisms perhaps.
Exactly. These studies have investigated various bioactive compounds found in asparagus, things like saponins and ethanol extracts from the asparagus stalk, which appeared to exhibit anti-tumor effects or showed toxicity to certain cancer cells in the lab.
Okay.
Additionally, polysaccharides found in asparagus have been suggested to have anti-cancer effects, potentially by reducing oxidative stress and inflammation, supporting digestion and immune function, and maybe even inhibiting gene mutation. But again, mostly in lab settings.
It sounds encouraging in the lab, certainly, but it's a huge leap from a test tube to preventing or treating cancer in a person eating asparagus.
That is absolutely the critical point. While these in vitro or in glass studies are interesting and they do lay the groundwork for further research, we really need robust human studies to understand if these potential benefits translate to people actually eating asparagus as part of their diet.
Right, essential context. Okay, let's shift our focus to another vital aspect of overall health, our immune system. Can asparagus help keep our natural defenses strong?
Well, some research suggests that asparagus extracts may indeed contribute to a stronger immune system in several ways.
How so?
Some studies have shown that these extracts can enhance the activity of both red and white blood cells, key players in our immune response. Additionally, they may help boost the production of antibodies, which are essential for fighting off infections.
That's certainly encouraging. A food that could potentially support our body's ability to defend itself is definitely worth considering.
Absolutely. And furthermore, some studies have indicated that asparagus spears themselves might have some antimicrobial properties against certain types of bacteria, such as E. coli and S. aureus.
So fighting bugs directly too?
Potentially, yes. This suggests a possible role in protecting against certain bacterial infections. However, as with many of these areas we've discussed,
More research needed.
you got it. More research is needed to fully understand the specific mechanisms and the real-world effects in humans.
Okay, so another area where initial findings are promising point towards potential benefits, but further investigation is needed to really understand the implications for human health.
That sums it up well.
Now, are there any other potential health benefits of asparagus that have been sort of hinted at by preliminary research? Anything else on the list?
Yes, there are actually a few other areas that have been explored, again, mostly in test tube or animal studies.
Okay, the usual caveat applies. What are they?
Things like potential benefits for promoting better sleep, maybe reducing stress levels, potentially supporting the treatment of epilepsy.
Wow, epilepsy.
Yes, improving hormone production, and even alleviating symptoms of colitis, which is an inflammatory bowel condition.
That's quite a diverse range of potential effects. It really speaks to the complexity of the compounds within this one vegetable.
It really does, and it absolutely highlights the need for further research across the board.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to reiterate that these findings are very, very preliminary and require much more investigation to determine if these benefits are significant and applicable to human health.
Understood.
Mm.
So, while interesting food for thought, we shouldn't consider these as confirmed benefits in humans just yet. Very speculative at this stage.
Exactly.
Now, a quick practical question. Is there any significant difference in the health benefits we get from eating asparagus raw versus cooked? Some people like it crunchy in salads.
That's a good question. And the answer is both raw and cooked asparagus offer valuable health benefits.
Oh, good.
When you eat asparagus raw, you obviously retain all of its original vitamins and minerals, some of which might be slightly reduced by heat. However, cooking can sometimes make other nutrients, particularly some antioxidants, more bioavailable.
Meaning easier for your body to actually use.
Exactly. Easier for your body to absorb and utilize them effectively. So really, both methods offer nutritional advantages.
So no need to force yourself to eat it raw if you prefer it cooked?
Not at all. The best approach is likely just to enjoy asparagus in whichever way you prefer, or maybe mix it up sometimes. The key is eating it.
Good to know. It's not an either-or situation. Now, we often compare vegetables to get a sense of their nutritional value. How does asparagus stack up against, say, a really popular green vegetable like broccoli? Everyone knows broccoli is healthy.
Yeah, that's a great comparative question. And the short answer is both broccoli and asparagus are undoubtedly super nutritious additions to your diet. You can't really go wrong with either.
But are there differences?
There are some subtle ones if you look closely at their nutrient profiles. Asparagus tends to be slightly higher in fiber, that folate we talk so much about, magnesium and selenium.
Okay.
On the other hand, broccoli often contains a bit more vitamin C.
So some minor trade-offs, but both are clearly nutrient-rich choices.
Exactly. The key takeaway here, I think, is that the nutritional differences between asparagus and broccoli aren't dramatic. They're both excellent. And ultimately, for optimal health, it's best to eat a wide variety of vegetables.
Don't just eat asparagus or just broccoli.
Right. Include both of these excellent options and lots of others to ensure you're getting a broad spectrum of nutrients. Your choice on any given day might simply come down to what's in season, what complements your meal better, or just your personal taste preferences.
Makes perfect sense. Variety is always key to a well-rounded diet. Okay, finally, there's one aspect of asparagus that some people find, well, memorable, let's say.
I think I know where you're going with this.
The distinctive smell in their urine after eating it. What's the science behind that? Is it bad?
No, it's not bad at all. It's a very common and completely harmless phenomenon. And it all comes down to that amino acid we mentioned earlier, asparagine and related compounds.
It's asparagine again.
Yep. When your body breaks down these asparagus-specific compounds, it produces certain sulfur-containing byproducts.
Sulfur? Like rotten eggs.
Well, sulfur compounds often have distinct smells. These particular ones are volatile, meaning they evaporate easily into the air.
Like when you pee.
Exactly. And that's what leads to that characteristic odor in the urine of some individuals after consuming asparagus. Not everyone notices it, or maybe not everyone produces the smell. The science is a bit mixed on why only some people report it.
But it's definitely nothing to worry about.
Absolutely nothing. It's a perfectly normal metabolic process, just your body processing the vegetable. Harmless.
Mystery solved. So it's just a quirky, harmless byproduct of our bodies processing this nutritious vegetable.
Well, we have certainly delved deep into the world of asparagus today, uncovering a wealth of potential health benefits. Let's try and recap some of the key takeaways for everyone listening.
Absolutely. So first off, asparagus is a remarkably nutrient-dense vegetable. Lots of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants.
All while being super low in calories. Exactly. Which makes it a fantastic addition to pretty much any dietary pattern. It has potential benefits for managing weight, thanks to that low calorie count, the high water content, and the fiber.
Helping you feel full.
Right. Promoting satiety.
And it's particularly valuable during pregnancy, we learned, because of its really high folate content, which is just crucial for healthy fetal development.
Definitely a standout benefit. And we also explored its natural diuretic properties that can support urinary tract health by helping to flush things out.
Yeah, the UTI prevention aspect was interesting.
And for digestive well-being, it's an excellent source of fiber for regularity, and it also contains those prebiotics like inulin that can contribute to a healthy gut microbiome by feeding the good bacteria.
Plus, its anti-inflammatory compounds and that rich antioxidant profile.
Especially those potent anthocyanins, if you can find the purple kind. They all contribute to overall wellness by fighting oxidative stress and inflammation.
And then we also touched on some promising, albeit, preliminary, findings from the labs and animal studies.
Right, areas like potentially helping to regulate blood sugar and cholesterol levels.
And those early indications of anti-cancer and maybe immune-boosting properties.
Yes, observed in those lab and animal research settings. Important to keep that context.
Absolutely. And while, as we've stressed, further human research is often needed to fully understand and confirm all of these potential benefits.
Which is true for a lot of food research.
It is. But it seems pretty clear that incorporating asparagus into your diet is generally a very positive step for your health. It's versatile, it's delicious, and it's just packed with nutrients that often fly under the radar.
Definitely deserves more attention than just being a simple side dish.
So here's something to think about. As you're planning your meals in the coming week, consider how regularly incorporating this often overlooked vegetable might contribute to your overall well-being. And maybe it makes you wonder, too, what other seemingly simple foods hiding in plain sight in our kitchens might hold surprising and significant health benefits that are worth exploring next?
A great thought to end on. Always more to learn.
Indeed. For more in-depth explorations into health topics just like this one, be sure to check out the Detox Health channel and please subscribe so you don't miss our future deep dives.